I don't know if it's what happened in Afghanistan or storming the Capitol building, but some things are so fundamentally Western value, Western ideals, that when people speak against those ideas and they're echoed over and over again, it drives me insane. It makes me so furious. And here Linus is on his show being I don't know, everything that is like fundamental to Western values, speaking against it, and everyone agrees. And people in America agree. I know Linus is Canadian, but even people in America echo these same sentiments from time to time. Maybe they've watched too many movies. I don't know. But let's listen to what Linus has to say here about defense attorneys. Let's have a listen.
Look good. Now, Neocortex posts in the float plane chat, look, even the guilty and downright vile humans need representation in court. Defense attorneys don't need to like their clients, just defend them. And that's a fair point.
And that's a fair point. Okay, so the way we determine whether someone is guilty or not is if you're accused of something, we give you a defense, right? Now, if we can prove beyond reasonable doubt that you did it, you get punished, criminally punished. If we cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did the crime, you go free. That's called the justice system, criminal justice. Let's listen to Linus's thoughts about the criminal justice system.
Point. But if you go straight to the firm that is known for defending vile human beings and the indefensible.
So two things there. Firms known for defending vile human beings and the indefensible. There is no accusation that is indefensible. Torture, rape, murder, sexual harassment. It doesn't really matter what the accusation is because the defense is necessary for justice. No, well, what I mean is we want the guy to have, so let's say someone is accused of torturing animals, right? We want him to have the best defense possible. So if the evidence proves that he did it, all right, we know that justice has been served. Imagine if we accused the guy of torturing animals, we didn't give him a defense, right? If we didn't give him a defense and we locked him up, that's not justice. We don't know if he did it or not. So a strong defense against there is no indefensible accusation. Vile humans, listen, if they did it, they're going to jail. See, a lot of people have this idea that all of these people really have indefensible crimes and they're getting away. That's not the way reality works. But let's listen to what he has to say a little more.
It just says a little something about how good you think your case is.
No, it doesn't. Because whether or not your case is strong or whether or not your case is weak, you're going to want someone who specializes in whatever you're accused. If you're accused of murder, go find a guy who has done a lot of murder trials before. If you're accused of rape, go find a guy who has done a lot of rape cases before. If you're accused of white-collar crime, embezzling money, go find a guy that has done a lot of white-collar crime before. It says absolutely nothing about your guilt or innocence, whom you choose to represent you. Now, it does say a lot about your intelligence. Because if you go out, if you're accused of murder, and it's like, man, but you know, that firm, they defend a lot of murder cases. Let me get a white collar defense attorney. You're an idiot. All right.
You can find good representation that doesn't have a track record for, getting monsters off the hook. For
Shrek? Wait a second. What? So you can find good representation that doesn't have a track record of winning. Okay, so here's what you do. If you're accused of sexual harassment, find people who have a track record of losing the cases, because if you hire a firm that has a track record of winning the cases, oh man, I mean, that proves that you did it, Oh, even if you're found not guilty, oh no, you're guilty. Now, we can never believe that you're innocent now because you hired a firm that's known for winning. The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
For example, when you go for a certain style of lawyer, you choose a lawyer or you choose a law firm based on what their specialty is. And if their specialty is winning unwinnable cases.
This guy saying, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. What are you talking about? There are no law firms in America. There has not been a single law firm in the history of the planet Earth. Well, not unless the judges or unless they can buy off juries or something like that. Because listen, there is no way to win an unwinnable case. This is what a lot of people don't know. In order to become a lawyer, you have to pass a bar examination. And part of that bar process is character and fitness. The Bar Association cares a lot about ethics. When you become a lawyer, you are not allowed to tell all these lies. Like people watch television and lawyers lie all the time. They're so sneaky, they're manipulative. Guys, you have to have impeccable character or you'll get disbarred. You'll get kicked out of there really fast. During a trial, during a criminal trial, there is a whole discovery period. The lawyers on both sides, the prosecution and defense, they share all the information with each other, right? That's their duty. It's their responsibility. So the prosecutors have to share all the information with the defense. The defense shares all the information that they're supposed to share, right, with the prosecution. And they actually go through this whole process. This is called due process of law. So there are no tricks. There is no like, oh man, the case was unwinnable, but the guy he was so clever. That's for the movies, man. No, they present arguments, right? If the prosecution has enough evidence to convict you of something, you're going to jail. Criminal trials are so skewed in favor of the prosecution that most even if you're innocent, a lot of the criminal defense attorneys will tell you, just plead, just take the plea. Whatever plea they give you, just take it. Because if this goes to trial, you're probably going to lose. And a lot of people think it's the reverse. It's like, oh man, all these guilty people are going free. That's very, very, very unlikely to happen. All right. Now, if you hear about a case in which that happened, it's a rare case. It's a very rare case. If you watch television will have you believe that lawyers are getting all these guilty people off the hook, all the left and right. Like that is not the way the legal system works in reality. All right. Don't believe movies. Don't believe the TV. And definitely do not listen to this Linus guy. Because if you're accused of something, you go out and you hire a guy with a specialty in whatever you're accused of. If they say, man, we saw you on tape robbing a liquor store, right? Find an attorney that specializes in that particular area of crime. Okay.
There's going to be a premium. And if you didn't think your case was unwinnable, you wouldn't want to be paying that premium. Do you guys?
That's not true. There is a premium. So first of all, a lot of the times when you see, oh man, the guy has 6, 8, 10 lawyers, those are corporate legal matters. Now, usually, if you have some sort of criminal matter brought against you, you're going to hire, even if you hire a firm, you're not going to have this crazy team of lawyers working on your case. Even if the firm is working on your case, you're going to have 1 or 2 lawyers at the most working on your specific case. So what I mean by this is it doesn't matter how much money you pay necessarily in criminal matters. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because it doesn't really matter. The lawyers, the firms will try to sell you on that belief. Man, hire us because we're the best, because we have all this skill or whatever. Honestly, it doesn't matter whether you pay $4,000 an hour or $400 an hour. The facts are going to be the facts, right? And if a lawyer has any bit of expertise in the subject, they're pretty much going to do about the same job. And I know a lot of people in the comments or people watching this are going to be like, what? Really? You think so? Unless they're literally paying off juries, that's reality. Now, that is not what high-priced law firms will tell you, right? Because they're trying to sell themselves. I mean, you know. Anyway, here, let's keep listening.
You guys kind of understand what I mean by that? Another thing, HAL made an excellent point in the Floatplane chat. Maybe they're using this firm because no one else wanted to represent them. And why do you think that might be? So it's
why might it? You know why? Because guys like you will try to ruin the characters of every defense attorney by saying that simply defending a guy who's accused of something makes the attorney bad. Right? So, okay, all right. So hear me out for a second. Let's say I have a law firm. I'm a new lawyer and I open up my own law firm. A guy comes to me with a case. He's like, man, I've been accused of sexual harassment. If I defend this guy and people like Linus will all of a sudden call me scum because I get the guy off because there's not enough evidence to convict him, I'm punished for winning the case. Wait a second. If I win the case, I'm punished because I'm a scummy lawyer who got the guy off, even though he's probably innocent, and I proved that he's innocent. I proved that he's not guilty at least. But it doesn't matter because I'm a scummy lawyer because I won the case. Or I lose the case, and then I'm a bad lawyer because I'm not good at my job. So really, the only way to win as a defense attorney, in Linus's opinion, would be just not to practice law. Just don't do it. But let me tell you one thing. If you do not have defense attorneys, you do not have justice. Because there's no way to prove the guilt of a guy unless I give him a defense. And I hope people understand. If any, I don't know, maybe 5 people will watch this video. I hope those 5 people understand what I'm saying. That defense attorneys and having a defense in a criminal trial is necessary to prove that a guy is guilty. So even if you want the guy locked up, good. Give him a strong, vigorous defense. And when we find him guilty anyway, we know that justice was served. So I hope that makes sense. This is something that Linus clearly doesn't know. But let's keep listening.
It's this sort of this inference that you can make when someone is represented by a certain type of firm or a certain type of lawyer.
There is no certain type of lawyer. All right. There are lawyers that have certain expertise, right? So if a guy gets a reputation for, man, you know what? I was falsely accused of sexual harassment. I went to that guy and he got me off. That's not a bad thing. All right. And if you're accused of sexual harassment, you're going to go to that guy. All right. There is no type of lawyer, and you cannot infer anything based upon who a guy chooses to represent him.
Birds of a feather, I guess, is the expression that sort of.
Birds of a feather is a stupid expression in the context of criminal law, because every criminal lawyer is going to defend criminals. Sometimes they're going to be guilty and sometimes they're going to be innocent. And most of the time, if they're guilty, they're going to be found guilty. Most of the time when they're not guilty, they'll be found not guilty. Now, does mistakes happen? Of course. The criminal justice system is not perfect. But the only time to blame a criminal defense attorney is when he doesn't do his best. So a criminal defense attorney should always try his best to get his client off. And a prosecutor, see, that's what people are forgetting about the equation. There is another side, the prosecution. All right. They're going to do everything in their power to prove that that guy did it. All right. So don't be scared of giving an accused guy a defense, because the truth will probably come out.
Best sums this up.
Yeah.
Cardinal says Linus has no idea what he is talking about. He has never even come close to hiring attorneys at this level. There's nothing wrong with Wilmer Hale. If you want to win a case, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that the type of firm that you hire says a lot about you. That's all.
No, it doesn't. All you're doing is ruining the character of a law firm and actually ruining the character of someone who is accused of a crime but has not been found guilty yet. And one of the great things, it's the bedrock, the foundation of our country. And I know he's Canadian, but look, it's the same whether you're in Canada or Great Britain or Europe. It doesn't really matter where you are. If you're a part of a Western democracy, one of the fundamental beliefs that you should hold is this: you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Innocent. And a court of law, you have two sides, a defense and a prosecution. The defense is just as important to justice as the prosecution is. There is no good side, bad side when it comes to the lawyers. The lawyers are the same. They're a part of a system, and the jury is a part of the same, and the judge is a part. They are all very important parts of a machine that tries to do its best to find if a person is guilty or innocent of breaking a law. That's it. So you can't infer anything based upon, man, but I tell you one thing. If I'm ever accused of something, I didn't even know what that law firm with William and Hale or whatever it's called. I don't even know the firm. But if I'm accused of sexual harassment, I'm going to them, right? If I was accused of murder, I know Johnny Cochran's dead, God rest his soul, but I go to Johnny Cochran. Why? Because I saw him win a criminal trial before. So anyway, look, I'm laughing about it now, but it really hurts me when I read tons of comments and people are agreeing with Linus, or they think some people are indefensible. Some accusations are so bad that, guys don't deserve a defense. It just goes against everything I believe in and everything we all should believe in as part of like a free society with the rule of law. And yeah, so anyway, Linus, you are a genius when it comes to technology. I love your channel. I really do. I love watching Linus Tech Tips. But regarding the criminal justice system, the rule of law, you are an absolute idiot. You should never speak on these subjects again. All right? And just keep your entire show focused on technology. All right? Leave a comment below. What do you think? You think I'm right or wrong? I know only probably like 5 people are going to watch this, but I just decided to finally make another video because I don't know. I was so mad. Comment below. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. All right. Peace out.